Welcome to the Mayor's Monthly Update. I'm Kate Reardon, Public Information Director for the City of Everett, and this is the time that we have each month to sit down with Mayor Ray Stephanson and talk about the issues that are important to you. So the weather's getting nicer.
It's getting nicer, and a lot of events coming up this summer, obviously, so looking forward to it. All in all, though, pretty mild winter, a little bit of weather we had to contend with at the city, but and sort of a cold early spring, but I'm really getting anxious to do all the events in the summer and have some nice weather, so terrific.
Definitely. And we've had a lot of public interaction as it relates to the Kimberly-clark industrial area and the surrounding properties. Central Waterfront is what we're dealing with. What's going on with that?
Well, we've had a briefing with the council, which was required following the emergency ordinance, and very thankful and that the council's so supportive of the ordinance, the moratorium, and our planning efforts. In April, we had an open house. I attended. There was a lot of really great suggestions about the future of that site. I saw all the information that Alan Giffen, our planning director, has put together, and he's got a binder like this thick of input, which is exactly what we've been looking for. So what we'll do is a couple things. One is we want to make sure that we have a professional economic assessment of that area, its zoning, its potential for job growth, which you know has been a priority of mine through this entire process. And then to look at what kinds of industries would match with the amenities, the water source that we have there, the waterfront, the zoning. What kinds of what kinds of industries would that might be best suited for that area? So that's one piece of it. Then the other will be to go through the continued public process. We're going to have some additional meetings this month. We're trying to fast track this as intelligently as we can. Now, I would say this moratorium's for 6 months, and while we're bound by that initially, if we need more time, Kate, we're going to take it because we've got to do this right. And so the opportunity for the public to participate in this is going to be great. Many already have. If you're interested at all in what specifically is going on, the dates, check our website out. Look for the agenda, which is normally, I think, on Friday or Saturday in the Herald if you're a subscriber, and look for the items on the agenda. So more time for public input. But I'm feeling positive that we've taken a negative situation, which was the closing of the mill and the loss of the jobs, which was really gut-wrenching, frankly. But we're looking to the future, and we're looking how to create jobs and how to really make this a special place for us in the future. So a lot more work to do. This is not an item that I had hoped would be on our agenda for this year. I hoped that we would have a buyer for the mill and we would continue with those jobs. But this is the hand we've been dealt, and we will deal with it as intelligently and expeditiously as we can.
Great. And so really the next piece that will be coming our way for public is economic analysis of that area. And then the planning department has been taking a survey of some of those public comments, and then the results of that will be summarized probably sometime this month and available on the website.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was really very pleased and very proud of the level of input that we got from citizens. I mean, a lot of really great ideas, a full range of ideas, but I think the one thing that was important to me is that there was a lot of public comment about the recognition and the importance of this being a job center. And I think that's critical. It's, we are we continue to be, even though there are positive signs in this economy, we continue to be in one of the most difficult economic cycles we'll probably see in our lifetime. And so there's still work to do, and the loss of 700 jobs in the community is tough. Yes, we have growth in aerospace, and thank goodness we do, but we're going to do everything we can to make sure we have a robust economy. We've got opportunities for people to work at good family wage jobs, and so that's number one priority for me in this process.
Great, good. And then let's talk a little bit about Everett Transit.
Mm-hmm.
They are examining and have a proposed schedule for service changes that would take effect in August. Why do we do something like that? What is that all about?
That's a great question. You know, this year it's a little different because the economic pressures of this recession continue to affect the transit budget and the transit service. And the local contribution for transit service really comes from one source. It's a special budget. It's not part of the general government budget, but its source of revenue is sales tax, and sales tax is still depressed. And so this year, it's a year where every year we look at service levels, we look at routes that are very successful for us, and there's a lot of ridership, and we look for routes that maybe it is a new route or a route where we have one or two, steady riders. And while that is important to one or two, I don't want to diminish that. The cost effectiveness of keeping routes where one or two individuals, for example, may be riding, it just you can't justify it. So Tom Hingston and his staff have been going through a very public process that will continue. I suspect that we're going to have a briefing for early this month for a broader sort of get all the transit kinds of questions out there. I think on May 16th we'll have a public hearing on the route changes per se, and then probably by August those route changes will come into effect. Will there be service decrease? Most probably. And that's really a function of putting the service where it is. There have been some calls for the city of Everett not participating in bus rapid transit with community transit. That is really just for a business reason, for a partnership reason, for a regional transit supporting reason. That is not where we want to look. Bus rapid transit has been very successful. It has a lot of ridership, and the cost per rider has been very effective for community transit. It shows the partnership that's important to make sure that we are a regional transit partner, but at the same time we can provide neighborhood service. And so I'm looking forward to having a broader discussion with the council and with the public about this, so they really truly understand what the benefits are, what the risks are, and so we really have a full understanding. But Kate, you and I have been doing this now for a few years, and this is not unusual. The transit system does this every year. We look at routes, we adjust, we try to be as cost effective and live within our means, and that's what this process is about. It's an annual process, but it may be a little tougher for us this year.
Absolutely, and fuel costs compounded with the depression of the sales tax revenue and that. So,
and a lot of we're going to look at fare adjustments, which we haven't for a long time, and that will help us a little bit, but it's really a small part of the operational cost. Most all of transit revenue comes from the federal government, and we all know what the federal government's going through. So we've seen a decrease in federal support for our transit service as well.
Mm-hmm. And the city website has a lot of information on the proposed changes and some of the dates that are coming up that people will be interested in.
Yeah, and I would really encourage anyone who has questions, check the website out, Again, the date I mentioned, the dates that may be coming up on the council agenda. Get as much information as you can. Call our transit center, Everett Transit, if you need to. Check that website out. But if you have specific questions, please call. Because we know that this is the lifeblood for a lot of folks getting to work, and we're seeing people, thank goodness we're starting to see unemployment drop, so that means more people are working, but probably using public transportation to get there.
Great. All right, we'll stay tuned for more on that for next month.
Great.
Great. Well, we are going to take a break real quick, and we'll come back and talk about all of the wonderful things that we have going on for you this summer.
Patty, I boldly went to socialsecurity.gov, and it's out of this world.
Socialsecurity.gov is a website for everybody.
Even teenagers?
Absolutely. Young people can help their grandparents with retiring online or getting extra help with their Medicare prescription drug costs.
So really, everyone of all ages should go to socialsecurity.gov.
Boldly go.
Welcome back to the Mayor's Monthly Update. The last part of our show is dedicated toward all of the wonderful things that we can do this summer.
Things.
All the free things,
Yeah.
family-friendly free things.
Yeah.
So tell us about what's on the schedule.
Well, hopefully folks will have an opportunity to see this very colorful brochure of all the activities, but Carol Thomas, our cultural arts manager, manages most all of these functions, but Sorta Culture's coming up June 8th, 9th, and 10th. We have Cinema Under the Stars, the 4th of July, the music at the Marina, which is a Thursday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Children's concerts, street tunes, very popular with the pianos throughout downtown. The Seattle International Film Festival actually is the end of this month, May 24th through the 31st. And this will be our third year. And Everett was chosen, as you remember, as the first location outside the city of Seattle for this great event. So a lot of great things to do. And this is our time of year. I mean, we sort of hibernate in the winter when it's cold and wet and dark. But boy, now is the time to enjoy these activities. So looking forward to June again, and seeing all of our citizens and all of our kids enjoy these great events. Should be lots of fun.
Absolutely. And then we've also got Jetty Island coming up.
Oh yeah.
The Forest Park Animal Farm. Silver Lake Beach will be opening soon.
Yeah.
So a lot of great things.
Yeah, a lot of great things. And we just try to be, these issues, these events have been very important to us, even in this really struggling economy. I'm sure people are getting sick and tired of hearing about, but the point is we've maintained these activities because we know they're important to our citizens, and people need great activities in their community. There is a side benefit though, and we've talked about this before. If you're thinking about relocating, let's say you're an aerospace worker and you've got an opportunity to take a job in Everett in the Northwest. I mean, you're going to look at schools. We have great schools. You're going to look at the kinds of activities, the arts, the culture, and are there a lot of fun things to do in your new community? And I would say I would match Everett to any community in the United States for great events. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of our citizens there. I try to attend as many events as I can and take my family and my grandkids. And so I hope I'll see many of our citizens there this summer.
Great. We'll have a wonderful month, and we'll catch up with you again in June.
All right. Thanks, Kate.
Thanks. And thank you for joining us for the Mayor's Monthly Update. Again, we'll see you in June.